launching to 128 miles per hour in 3.5 seconds. That is awesome! 456 feet straight up, then back down and around.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're looking at the most infamous times expensive theme park attractions fell into decline. We won't be examining complete parks, only individual amusements like roller coasters, rides, attractions, hotels, and shows.
We object to the place they've picked.
Number 10, Son of Beast, Kings Island. Looking for a successor to their 1979 smash hit ride, The Beast, Kings Island in Mason, Ohio commissioned the creation of its offspring, Son of Beast. However, the wooden roller coaster got a rough start when its opening was delayed in 2000, followed by $110,000 worth of fines by the Occupational Safety and Health Administration for violations.
I mean, you hate to think it might have happened, but did Kings Island hide the truth about the roller coaster's safety?
Well, an engineer who inspected the ride says yes.
Then, when it was opened, there were several design flaws, leading to Kings Island issuing a lawsuit against the Beast's creators. After a string of suspected connected injuries to riders, including major ones in 2006 and 2009, with the former involving multiple lawsuits, management had enough.
Yannick is the last person involved in many lawsuits connected to that incident. A faulty support on the roller coaster was blamed for the jolting ride.
In 2009, the Son of Beast was closed. Throughout its lifetime, nearly $30 million was spent on it.
With all the initial capital that went into Son of Beast and the many years' worth of repairs, it's probably a $30 million investment. It would be a huge undertaking to take it out, let alone replace it with something comparable.
Number 9, Submarine Quest, SeaWorld San Diego. Due to the 2013 documentary Blackfish and the fallout, SeaWorld needed to repair its image. So in 2017, it launched the Ocean Explorer at its SeaWorld San Diego park, costing the company millions in construction.
And then you take your plunge into Ocean Explorer. It's about inspiring our guests to not only explore the ocean, but act to protect it.
This area was designed for children and was composed of several attractions.
And on board, they'll conduct scientific experiments through digital play, and they'll get a chance to really learn about the oceans and see what type of explorer they're going to be when they grow up.
This included the Submarine Quest, a ride that mimicked a deep-sea explorer with digital effects. However, the reception towards it wasn't great. The ride was closed every so often, with SeaWorld claiming it was having maintenance, despite parkgoers seeing no work happening. In 2019, Submarine Quest was officially closed.
This sub, it's full of technology. We had to build a custom vehicle to house all these cool lighting effects, sound effects, and most importantly, our brand new digital interface.
The negative reaction to the Ocean Explorer caused multiple company higher-ups to resign due to not making back the investment. Number 8, the Smiler, Alton Towers. Armed with a terrifying commercial that haunts anyone who sees it, the UK's Alton Towers opened the doors to the Smiler in 2013.
Join us.
Costing £18 million, around $27.4 million at the time, the opening had to be delayed due to construction issues and riders being stranded during a preview event. Not a great start. Yet it got worse. In 2015, an empty test train stalled on the tracks. Sadly, an occupied one then crashed into it, causing serious injuries to riders, including losing limbs.
I don't want it, I've never wanted it to reopen, that's just the obvious reaction. I just didn't think it'd be so soon, like, it's only 9 months, it's not a very long time. And if it was a worse day, we could have died.
Within months, Alton Towers' owners, Merlin Entertainments, made 190 workers redundant after the accident caused a fall in revenue. In 2016, after pleading guilty, the company was fined £5 million, around $6.5 million.
What's your biggest disappointment?
Alton Towers.
Oh, I've never been.
It's rubbish. Next.
Number 7, Expedition Everest, Walt Disney World. In 2006, Walt Disney World in Lake Buena Vista, Florida cut the ribbon on their brand new roller coaster, Expedition Everest.
A one-of-a-kind theme ride brings them face-to-face with a boogeyman, the abominable snowman.
Reportedly costing the House of Mouse over $100 million, the ride was the most expensive in the world at one point. One of its standout features was the animatronic Yeti figure. However, only a few months into its opening, the Yeti's structure split.
Those attempting to reach the summit must face him.
As such, it couldn't be operated in its primary mode. So it went to its secondary, which involved a lot of light effects and no movement, giving it the nickname Disco Yeti. But still, riders hated it. The lead Imagineer, Joe Rohde, promised in 2013 that it would be fixed. However, he retired in 2021 with the Yeti still broken.
4.5 Gs. This Yeti is the single biggest dynamic figure that has ever been built.
Number 6. Fujin Raijin 2, Expoland. In 1970, Expoland opened its doors in Suita, Japan. Between 1972 and 2007, the park reportedly brought in 83 million visitors. In 1992, Expoland opened its newest attraction, the standing roller coaster, Fujin Raijin 2. Costing a reported 1.8 billion yen, around $13.4 million at the time, the ride continued along nicely. However, maintenance standards slipping and management ignoring a broken axle led to disaster. In 2007, the ride derailed. 19 people were injured, with one other person sadly losing their life. While the park later reopened, Expoland struggled to find sponsorship due to its broken reputation and multiple employees being criminally charged. In 2009, Expoland was liquidated. Number 5. Rocket Rods, Disneyland. In 1998, Disneyland Resort in Anaheim, California opened its new attraction in Tomorrowland, Rocket Rods.
Blast off on Rocket Rods, a unique experience in speed.
Wow, exactly.
The new Tomorrowland is now at Disneyland, and it's something you'll never forget.
The futuristic drag race-esque ride excited fans, but those emotions were quickly doused in disappointment.
It was the day thousands of guests have been waiting for, the grand public opening of the new Tomorrowland at Disneyland.
Even for one of the ride's first trips, race legend Mario Andretti struggled with the seatbelt, leading to delays.
Mario Andretti took the pole position on the new Rocket Rod attraction.
And this pure excitement. I want to do it again.
It only got worse from there as Rocket Rods was closed multiple times for repairs. In 2000, Disney announced the ride would close for a major refurbishment, which they stated would last nearly a year. Instead, in 2001, it was officially closed. Reportedly, the construction cost over $20 million. In 2018, one of the original Rocket Rod vehicles was sold at auction for $22,500.
We expect to fail, we intend to fail, we plan to fail. We plan to fail many, many, many times because we're experimenting, we're trying things that we don't know if it'll work or not. And if we're above 50% hit rate on our smaller projects, we're not trying hard enough.
Number 4, Discovery Island, Walt Disney World. In Bay Lake, Florida, sits the disused Walt Disney World attraction Discovery Island. The island was once owned by radio host Delmar Nicholson, who bought it for $800 in 1937, around $17,700 in 2025. First opened in 1974 under the name Treasure Island, the site was used as a zoological attraction, allowing guests to see a range of animals.
Visitors may spend as much time as they like exploring the island and its fictional landmarks. But it is, after all, the colorful inhabitants themselves who furnish the main attraction.
However, it hasn't always been great for the creatures. In 1990, Disney paid $95,000, around $232,000 today, to settle 16 cases of animal cruelty.
These characters and several other bird, mammal, and reptile species thrive and prosper on Discovery Island, and they're happy to share their island home with other Walt Disney World guests.
Reportedly, due to the opening of Disney's Animal Kingdom, high maintenance costs, and lack of guest interest, the animals were moved to the kingdom in 1999 as Discovery Island was closed.
The lights remain on around the perimeter, but deeper into the overgrown paths on the island.
Surprised how dark it is in here.
The group discovers abandoned buildings and cages.
Number 3. Kingda Ka, Six Flags Great Adventure. When Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey announced their plans to build the tallest and fastest roller coaster on Earth, expectations were understandably high when Kingda Ka was opened in 2005.
Exclusive rides on Kingda Ka, the tallest, fastest coaster on the planet.
After plowing $25 million into its creation, Six Flags succeeded for a bit.
It's skydiving, it's drag racing, it's rocket launching, it's everything that you've ever thought of as an extreme activity.
After early structural issues hindered the launch and other roller coasters took its fastest spot, in 2014, Zumanjaro Drop of Doom was attached to the ride to try and at least make it memorable. However, Kingda Ka continued dropping down the Golden Ticket Awards leaderboards for top steel roller coasters, eventually being unplaced. In 2024, the ride was officially closed. In 2025, Kingda Ka and the attached Zumanjaro Drop of Doom were demolished. Number 2. X2, Six Flags Magic Mountain. In 2002, Six Flags Magic Mountain in Valencia, California, officially opened the doors for their newest attraction, the X. Labeled as the world's first fourth dimension roller coaster, the ride was meant to open a year prior, but maintenance issues hindered that. The problems seemingly came about from Six Flags changing the plans for manufacturer Aerodynamics.
X has landed.
The increasing costs, which reportedly came to $45 million, forced the manufacturers into bankruptcy. Due to the issues, in 2007, X was refurbished and rebranded into X2, costing Six Flags a further $10 million.
Come, my friends, behold the thunder of X2. Closing your eyes won't make it go away.
A host of effects were added, including flamethrowers. While it gave the ride a much-needed boost, over the years, it's fallen down the ranks for the Golden Ticket Awards Top Steel Roller Coasters list.
A ride on a popular roller coaster ended in horror for these grieving parents.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Light Magic, Disneyland. Opening in May 1997, this over $20 million parade closed within 10 days.
Those imaginative wizards at Disneyland in California are rolling out quite an eye-popping spectacular, or street-tacular as they call it. The show is called Light Magic.
Horizons, Walt Disney World. Costing millions, the dark ride about the future wasn't able to see 2000 before it closed.
Step into the future in Horizons. Step into the future today.
Volcano the Blast Coaster, King's Dominion. After 20 years of decline, the $20 million coaster was dropped in 2018 with little fanfare.
Flip around upside down, 4 inversions, and an 80-foot dive at the end through a waterfall.
The volcano is set to open in the spring of 1998.
It is not for the faint-hearted, but I'll be there to help break it in.
Windseeker, Knott's Berry Farm. After stalling multiple times, the $5 million ride was sent to Worlds of Fun in 2013.
We aimed for the stars. Take a spin on this towering monster, and you might see some of your own. Somewhere between the stratosphere and screaming your face off, you'll realize this is no tall tale.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser, Walt Disney World. In 2022, fans of George Lucas's universe were delirious as Walt Disney World opened up Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser, a unique live-action role-playing and choose-your-own-adventure attraction.
And every character, crew member, and fellow passenger is also in your story.
How you interact and make the most out of your cruise is totally up to you.
Taking place over 2 days at a themed hotel, it was the stuff of nerdy dreams. Then the price of tickets was noticed, as well as the lackluster design and technical glitches.
You probably haven't heard of it because nobody ever talks about it because it isn't any fun. Okay, wait, something's gonna happen.
It did nothing.
Okay. That was your reward.
For 2 people, the ticket cost came to $4,800. Disney was likely desperate to recoup the cash they spent on the facility, with estimates varying from $250 million to as high as $1 billion. With only 100 rooms, Disney needed to make a lot of money fast.
All around, change is coming, something new is in the air.
However, it didn't catch on.
Allegedly, when the decision to close the Starcruiser was made, the cast were given very little warning, only finding out they would be losing their jobs in a staff meeting a handful of minutes before the media announcement and just before starting a long shift.
A year and a half later, in 2023, the hotel took its final flight.
A spokesperson for Walt Disney World tells me the Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser will turn into office space for Disney Imagineers.
Have you experienced any of the attractions we've mentioned in the video in person? Let us know your experience below.
Just trust me, there's aliens singing behind that big old pole.